Hello and welcome back. My name is Tuxedo Ian. We are getting back into our playthrough of Book of Hours. I believe this is number 22 or 23. I've honestly lost count at this point. Probably should go to bed, but I'm recording another episode here anyway. So, when we last left off, we had just finished the we're in the last few days of summer, and we're trying to move into the Curcubit. We've managed to open the way up. Now we just have to finish opening the way and start cleaning out the rooms in there. So, with that said, here we go. Let's see what we can get done today. Alright, so when we left off, we had a sky book that we were attempting to read, and we didn't want to use our Faust on it because it does have the fifth eye curse. And we don't want to get inflicted with that just at the moment. But we are reading another book to get a sky memory. And we're crafting an enduring reflection. We have our sun for the last 2 points of sky that we need for this. So let's see what it's going to ask us for as far as extra stuff it needs. Oh, and we were crafting some Solomon's preparation here that we can use to help out Mr. Kill. Alright, we have an enduring reflection. 3 rows, heart, knock, and can be used to evolve Nyctodromy by putting it in another area that can take two related skills. So let's see then. So that should open the way here. The shrouded stair. Yes, 3 rows does open the way. An enduring reflection. Refine what is, recall what remains. So we will go ahead and open this. The shadow here is a sentinel. To enter it unprepared is to risk dissolution. I must bear a memory, like a torch in the dark. And that will open up this room here. So let's see. What do we want to see if we can open today? Well, 10 Grail, 10 Winter, or 10 Hearts. So since we have that Solomon's preparation being prepared, let's go ahead and get Mr. Kill out and get him started. So there's that, and we're going to need a Winter 2 memory to get him to 10. So we can grab Lady Eva's Repose and get a Regret. Mr. Kill can always spare a few hours to help a friend. And together we will watch for what lies ahead. Alright, so there is our homemade Solomon's preparation. So now we have the recipe for that, and we can make more later. Though it does require one of our whist to make at the moment, till we can get a few more levels on Inks of Containment. And we have another few seconds here before we find out what it's going to want. Should have enough various things that we can... Alright, so it wants either Epiphany or an extra effort soul. Ooh, I think Epiphany is going to give us the right ones. Let me check my notes here real quick. Epiphany gives Forge, Moon, and Moth. Well, we can use the Faust and go ahead and get it over with. I can cure whatever the problem is that it will cause. Okay, so my assistant and I will be prudent. So that will get him up to 8. My Faust is now fascinated. The higher I rise, the more I see. This is cursed. The signs are unmistakable. The fifth eye curse was wrenched open the unwilling eye of my soul. My Faust has a malady. So I need one more piece of soul. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to... I forgot that would reduce it to 2. Oh boy, so we don't have anything else that will be used. The Epiphany is not going to be worth it. Guess I'll just have to cure that piece of Faust. Alright, so we should have... There's our winter, our memory. We can give that to Mr. Kill. Get him up to number 10. Get him up to 10. Okay, so I now have a fascinated Faust. But unlike other things, a curse cannot spread. So this just gives me a repeatable lantern thing for the moment. Maybe useful, maybe not. I think for now we will at least make use of it and get another... Nope, that's not what we need. We need 2 sky. Can take another crack at reading this. Alright, so there's Mr. Kill revved up and ready to go. And we'll set him loose on the blackened yard. A furious heat has scorched, even melted the stones. But as at the bridge, it was only here and there. Horribly, here and there mostly seemed to be where people happened to be standing. Charred, cracked bones scatter the yard. So we'll go ahead and get that started. So let's see, is there anything else that we can possibly do before the day ends? I think we might be able to get Mrs. Kill. Can we get her to 10? So 2, 4... 6, 8 with a memory. No, I don't think we can at the moment. So instead, let's see, we could probably get her to 6, because 2 plus 1... Yeah, we just need a solace. Or we could do, yeah, Cheerful Ditty would work. And use one of the Arab, get her attention. You always cheer me up, she says morosely. So we'll use our core, get her to 3. My assistant and I are both a little merrier. Give her the bowls to get her to 4. Alright, so there's our next sky memory, so we'll try reading this book again. Should give us some more useful options for extra reading once we're done. Alright, there's Mr. Kill has finished his work. The jail yard. The jail was nicknamed the Curcubit for the alchemist's flask that distills and refines. Prisoners would become better versions of themselves, realigned to responsibility. Hence, though it would have been a much safer to confine the more potent inmates to their sealed cells, Governor Collars insisted that even they should be allowed fresh air and exercise. So, not much here, although we do have a new workstation, the exercise yard. The prisoners in the Curcubit were permitted to grow neither too strong nor too weak. Here they were subjected to an exacting regime which developed both their bodies and their souls in accordance with the governor's designs. So this can craft with winter, edge, heart, and knock. And looks like it can just take soul and memory as the extra bits. And it can evolve things that have been assigned to Ithistry. So what have we assigned to Ithistry so far? We've assigned Hinavik. So does Hinavik actually work in there? Nope, Hinavik will not go in there because it does not match one of the four. So we'll have to find somewhere else to use Hinavik to evolve a Whist. So we've opened 2 new rooms. The Blackened Staff Room. The same story as the yard below. Seared bones, blackened walls, furniture half consumed by fierce fire. But much of the room remains untouched. Or the Worm-Eaten Hall. This place bears the unmistakable traces of worms, the serpents which are no serpents. They are almost certainly gone, but we'll take no chances. Worms are difficult to evict from buildings, but much harder to evict from people. So it looks like this is going to be a job for either Denzel or Mr. Kill, since it's Forge 11 or Winter 11, and this is Heart 11 or Grail 11, so that would be a job for Mrs. Kill. But for now, we will get her singing a little cheerful ditty. And that will get her to 6, so we can open up this reeking chamber. This room reeks like a rotting reptile. The curtains ripple restlessly with the watchful presences that Van Loren left behind. Perhaps I can find someone to sing them to sleep. Well, we've given her a little ditty, so she can go ahead and start working on cleaning that up. So let's see, we have a Wind-Proud Gallery for Forge, Lantern, and Sky. Edge and Winter. Winter and Moth. So the first thing we're going to need is, it is still the end of summer, so we have our health. We can harvest some more sea holly before the summer ends. So let's see, to cure our frost, we need 5 nectar. This malady can be cured with bed rest, something suitable, perhaps green and soothing to drink, and this much nectar aspect to bring the frantic soul back to earth. So let's see what we can do. I think we can do that, because we have several drinks that are 2 nectar. So we have the dandelion wine, which gives us 2. And let's go to our bed. So we add the Fascinated Faust, the dandelion wine, and then we need 3 nectar. And luckily, we have that with Coil and Chasm, so I can cure my malady by I have supplied enough nectar. So that will take 3 minutes. So that'll take us halfway into next day, but I'll have my Faust back. And yes, I know, I could just go to the skill web and take another one. Alright, so we have 2 chances for soul, which we don't have another sky soul, and an art, 2 sky. We need a 2 sky art. I think I know we have a 2 sky art around somewhere. Hello? Yes, we do. The Thunderskin. Okay, so this will work. We can use this painting to finish reading the book. We just have to wait for it to ask for it. Sometimes taking a chance works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did. And there's our 10 sky. Take a moment to look at something interesting here. Alright, so this is De Mortu Corporum Vetitorum. The author rejoices in the name of Abelard Hubris, and the title might be translated as On the Forbidden Motions of Bodies, evidently a reference to Newton's De Morto Corporeum, published some 20 years previously. Hubris's thesis that stars, planets, and other bodies are the proxies or even essences of the hours, and that conjunction and occlusions reveal the outcome of our intrigues in the Mansus. Hubris declares that the great comet of 1577 was the physical embodiment of the hour named Madrugad, that it disintegrated, but its fragments gravitate to bone marrow, where they can be located even now. He insists that oronoscopic techniques can be used with essential periost and sufficient sky to create a talisman gerifugic. Okay, so there's a hint for a crafting recipe. So an essential periost, we know we have at least one of those lying around, and sky makes something, along with oronoscopic. So either 10 or 15, probably 15 sky. So it gives us memory storm and 2 lessons for oronoscopy. So we will mark this with memory storm and file it away, because we're probably not going to need that one again. Though you never know when we might need to fascinate a Faust, so we'll keep that around for the moment. And then we have oronoscopy is available to level up now. So we need 3 more memories that are either sky or... Actually, we're going to need 4 because these are both going to expire. So let's go ahead and get started reading those. So we have... Moon. That's 1. We have Moon and Sky. That's 2. We have Sky, 3. And Salt will do for the last one. C does not regret. We can read that up here. So that's our 4 memories that we will need to level up oronoscopy, which will get us to Sky 6. We have got some more sea holly that we can use to make another Solomon's preparation once our day ticks over and our wisps refresh. And we have a new season. It is the autumn is about to start. We have some rain, so that's Nectar and Grail. So we might as well get Mrs. Kill out because we know we have some Grail rooms that we're going to need to open, so that will help us out. And we have another visitor coming to deal with the affair of the forgivable debt. Like many criminal enterprises, reckoners offer loans to the desperate and unwary, but reckoners can offer loans not only of cash, but allotted years of life. They usually keep a low profile, but now 2 reckoner mobs have gone to war in the unremarkable Lithuanian city of Kaunas. Why? What's in Kaunas? Alright, so we will get Mrs. Kill started. We will talk to her about the weather. And then let's see, so we have, then the room she finished opening for us yesterday was the Mazarine room, Kitty's pride and the house's joy. Kitty Mazarine was better known for her vocal compositions, but she was a versatile musician, and on winter evenings she'd invite visitors and villagers alike to her recitals. So we have another bust, this time of Kitty Mazarine. This bust is carved from black limestone. We'll have to investigate that later and find out where she goes on the stairs. And it seems we have 4 instrument workstations here. We have a hallowed drum. Celebrate the god of joy with your own joy, the Bake. The sound of these drums was the skin of these drums was the skin of something rare. So we can make a crafting with heart or sky, and we can evolve preservation here, and it also counts as an instrument, which all of these will. We have a grand piano. Simplicity is the final achievement. After one has played a vast quantity of notes and more notes, it is simplicity that emerges in the crowning reward of art. Frédéric Chopin. This can make music or any items with rose and sky. A sunset harp. I have been a string and a harp, disguised for 9 years in water in the foam of the sea. the battle of the trees. This harp is strung with something that glimmers redly as waves at sunset. Moon and sky. And a quivering double bass. The better it gets, the fewer of us know it. Ray Brown. This instrument is possessed of a restless energy. Grail and sky. And these all have the ability to take a element of the soul, a sound, or an omen as application, and a memory as inspiration. So we'll keep that in mind for later crafting uses. And that has opened up a new room we can explore, the Rose-Haunted Hall. The room is rife with climbing roses, tangled in the lamps sprawled across the table. The blossoms are a deep, deep red, one of those colors not often seen in waking life, and their perfume makes my head swim. Another of Van Loren's protections, or something else. In any case, it'll be arduous, careful work to clear it. So that would be 7 Grail. Or we could, let's see, so we're already working on Mrs. Kill. We want her to get Grail up and running. So we're going to try and get her to 10 Grail. Or at least 8. So that if we can't get her to 10, we can at least get her to 8 for the Heart-Haunted room. So let's see. For Grail, we have the Domain Raveline, which I think we have a glass of that somewhere. Yes, we do. So we can use that. And then do we have any Grail food? These only give 1 point of Grail. Not really worth it. The tool will give her 1 point. So that will be something at least. The pears would give her 1. We could give her this yarn, because she can use fabrics, but that would only give her 1 point. Well, let's see what we can do. And our memories for upgrading Ornoscopy are just about done. There we go, so we will quickly go and collect all of these. That will let us do Ornoscopy, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a tryst for Moon. So satisfying to have come so far. Improve this skill to level 5. And since we have another skill, do we want to, let's see. So we could put it up to level 6, or we could try and see what other sky levels do we have. Could do Strings and Songs. That one's fairly potent. We could do Anbari and Lapidary. That one would be helpful. Yeah, I think we'll do Strings and Songs for the next one. Or we could continue with Ornoscopy. Let me check my notes here real quick and see exactly what Ornoscopy offers us. Yeah, okay, so we are going to we're going to continue and level Ornoscopy up at least one more time, because we do need something that it creates. So we will refill this. That's 1. Don't need that. 2. 3. 4, and we need 1 more for Sky or Moon, so we can do Perugian Diaries and get a cheerful ditty. And that gives us 5. Alright, so that's Mrs. Kill at 4. The Domain Raveline will get her to 6. An Arab will get her to 8. tool will get her to 9, and the pears would get her to 10. So we'll go with that. And it is autumn, so we cannot harvest from the garden here. But we could harvest, let's see, Trumpeter's Lily in summer, Cat's Claw in spring, so that one is closed to us for now. We could harvest some more pears here. We could harvest some some honey-scarred jasmine. We missed the Agave Eterna. And that one would be fragrant chalice. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to harvest another thing of pears. Because we're going to use the set that we have already. Alright, Dr. Aaron Peel is en route to Hush House. Exile, Riddlemonger, Thunderskin devotee, I'd rather say confidant. Impeccably dressed, but always in dark clothing so the stains don't show. Dark the dressings too at his ankles and his wrists. I won't take a seat. It's kind of you to offer. It would be unkind of me to accept. So he can teach us Vac. He knows Sanskrit. He knows Latin. He knows Phrygian and Greek and Aramaic, so he can read just about anything. He's interested in moon and moth. And for invitations, he likes moon, food, and drink. So we will hold on to him for just a minute while we finish up with Mrs. Kill. Alright, so our Oronoscopy is now level 5. So it is 6 sky and 5 moon. Alright, we will add our Arab. My pride will find an echo in theirs. Time, peace, recovery, and my Faust has now been restored. So I think what we're going to do, we are going to take... We still have plenty of... We'll use one of our metal to get another 6-pence, even though we still have plenty of money. Another 6-pence never hurts. Alrighty, so there's our 5 memories that we can use to upgrade Oronoscopy one more level. 2, 3, 4, 5. Another Tryst. At last, I'm something of an authority in this. Improve this skill to level 6. Eagerly, we anticipate our work. I can give her the knife, which will get her to 9. So she's had a memory, a beverage, and collaboration, plus a tool now. And Oronoscopy is now level 6. So at this point, we can actually do something that is now within our reach. But to do it, we're going to need another sky memory. Like I said, we've definitely made the 7th voice into a useful workhorse this game. And we can give her now those bowl of pears. And that will get her to Grail 10. Okay, we're done working at the Sweet Bones. There's our new bowl of pears. So that actually, I think, is going to come in handy here in a second. A hurricane lamp, proof against storm, wind, and moth swoop alike. And that brings Mrs. Kill up to 10 Grail. So we can either open the infested wine cellar, or we can open... Yeah, we'll do the wine cellar today. all of those other places we can more easily do. Something much bigger layered here. The walls and ceiling are smeared with its slimes. It's gone, but its children remain, wriggling in every shadow. We'll have to clear, lure, or drive them out. And now we can start talking to Dr. Peel. And if you remember correctly, we did have a book that he wrote, the Collected Hush House Lectures. The day, the night, and here we are again in the day. Marvelous! Something, as it were, coming through. I forgot I'd written in the third history. Well, well, can I take a look? I'll keep my gloves on. Peel will examine the book and return it to you. He won't leave until his other business is concluded. So let's see what he can give us for this. You know that Oriflamme's was established in the same year as the Mask of Masks, but not the same history, so it's probably a coincidence. Come closer, though, and I'll whisper you a footnote. A wormwood dream. If there are any laws which apply only in dream, then it must also be that there are crimes which can only be committed there. A 6 moon and 6 winter memory, as well as 3 edge. That will come in handy. It is an omen, and it is persistent, so it will not go away until Numa comes around, and it can evolve something via skolokoscopy if we wanted to use it that way, but that would honestly be a waste. So there is our sky memory. So now we will bring Dr. Peel back and talk to him again on the forgivable debt. This century, Librarian, this century. A knife beneath every pillow. I am minded this season to be a collector of knives. Try a book with as much mystery moon as their moon interest. So we can hand him What Does Not Bark. The sages of the Coraviality tell us that understanding leads to conflict. I wonder, then, if peace might arise from confusion. Sometimes, Librarian, it must be frustrating never to see how these matters come out. But I envy you. Once one is wound in, one is never quite wound out. Alright, so now that we have this oronoscopy as high as it is, and we have our confounding parable, we can do something that is going to be of very, very good use to us later. We can take, let's see, actually, do we have any other pieces of wood laying around? I think that's the only one we have for right now that is not already part of something else. Yeah, I think that's the only wood blank we have for right now. So we're going to take this Lignum Vitae blank, the hardest of all woods. 3 edge, 3 nectar, and 3 scale, but we're not going to be using it for any of those. We're going to be coming over here. The Shrine of St. Genarius. St. Genarius is the name which was wounded, the name of exceptions, the little god at the door. And we're going to be applying our oronoscopy. We're going to be applying our confounding parable. We're going to add our hurricane lamp. And then we just have to add some soul. We can add a fet. And we need the wood. So apparently we can't do... Oh, there we go. We can put the light there. Oh. Put the light there. So create a sky aspected instrument. Oronoscopy with scholar level sky plus wood creates a Mazarine fife. So we are going to go ahead and make that, and it is a sky tool that we will be able to use to help us out with some things. So that will take us another 1.5 minutes. Scholar recipes always take 1.5 minutes to create. So while that is running, we will also come here with our whist and our... Where is it? There it is, Inks of Containment. And we will add that. And then we need a... we need a memory to get us one more. Actually, what we're going to do now we can read the Annals of St. Brandon that I've been putting off, because that will give us another level of Inks of Containment, which will be just enough. The Swinner Stories at 5 winter gives bittersweet certainty, but we don't need. We already have a book that gives us that. I can master this mystery. So that will give us. We will need 5 memories of winter or moon. So we can go ahead and start cooking on those. So it will just barely get to the to finish. So we have. Keep grabbing that one by accident. Let's see if we can move this somewhere. Yes, we can move it here. So we have Musgrave Sketches, gives us winter. We have a Seventh Voice, gives us moon. That's 2. We have Sea Does Not Regret, gives us moon for 3. Moon and winter. There's 4 moon, or 4, that's winter 4. We just need another, there's another winter there, so that's, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that will be our levels of Inks of Containment. And we have a spare whist, so that's good. So Mrs. Kill has finished her work. Oh, and we actually forgot to look down here. So this is the Stair Tenebris that we opened up earlier in the day. There were shadows here in the earth, long before the foundations of the house were laid. They retreated before the Romans' burrowings, they quailed before the sun hymns of the brethren, they slunk away before the blades and pistols of the barons de Wolf. Over all the centuries they shrank, until at last, when the Curia of the Isle sunk this stair, they could recruit one as a watchdog. So we have 3 Nocturnal era books, and we have a statue of the Velvet, an hour of secrecy, ignorance, privacy, shame. The Velvet has never encouraged insight, investigation, or worship. Even an image of her is unusual, so that gives us something we can use that has 2 moon. So we might find use for that later. We'll drag our books to be cataloged over to our cataloging shelf. And Mrs. Kill has worked her magic on the wine cellar. Ricardo Milagro, traveler, rascal, Musgrave's gardener, managed a credible wine from the Brankrug grapes. Cornwall has never really been wine country, and the tradition was unevenly maintained, but the Curia of the Isle kept a good cellar. So we have another bucket of seawater. We have a plain stool, the most reliable object imaginable. How old is it? We have some Roscragen whiskey. We have 3 bottles of dandelion wine, 3 bottles of lambic, a bottle of slosh Jannings, and a bottle of Domaine Raveline. So what we're going to do then is, since we have bottles of this stuff just kind of lying about, we will go ahead and move our wine into the wine cellar. Because why not? So let's see, we have Domaine Raveline, 2 bottles of Domaine Raveline, 3 bottles of Domaine Raveline, a bottle of Slosh Jennings. We have some more dandelion wine we'll put on the shelf there. Let's see, we have another bottle of Slosh Jennings. We have, I think that's all. Oh, we have our this Roscragen whiskey here. I think that's all of our... Oh, we have 2 glasses. We can leave those there for now. So we'll bring the Slosh Jennings down here. Bring the Rose Kragan Whiskey here and set it next to the others. And we have some lost packages. The label is smeared to unreadable fog. So we'll go ahead and start working on opening those because we have some time. And we have a free medal. And it'll take a minute before we finish reading the Annals of St. Brandon anyway. Alright, so we have Peel's card, and we have collected another bronze Spintria. And according to our notes here, Peel. Dr. Peel went off to Kaunas to collect knives, or sow confusion, or bring peace, or something. Okay. Annals of St. Brandon proceeding apace. And there are our 5 memories for Inks of Containment. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we can use these desks to catalog these 3 new books. With keeper-level Sky, a Mazarine Fife is an essential tool to conjure a wind in waiting. So, a Mazarine Fife with 15 Sky and a Sky skill of some sort. We don't know which skill exactly, but we'll figure it out later. So, as you can see, this is a 3 Sky tool, so that will be invaluable for opening up something that has Sky or reading a Sky book. It's also an instrument that can make music and a tool. One reason the apes beat the Beatles. So that's going to make getting into places like the Windproud Gallery a lot easier, because 3 Sky is quite a lot for one little tool. And we found some Dawnline coffee. So we'll put that back on the shelves here in the pantry. So we already have some Dawnline coffee. And we are just about done. We should be just about done with the Annals of St. Brandon over here. Yep. Alright, so so our cataloging is done. We have the Admonitory Automata Project. Footage of experimental devices under development in the Kirkubit under Governor Collar's supervision. So that would give us another level of Lockworks and Clockworks. Actually, it would give us 2 because it is a 10 for Mystery. So Mystery Forge. We can definitely watch that one and understand what it's trying to tell us. Next, we found 26 Enticements, 7 Torments. The painter Niels Frederick Malsker notoriously attempted a series of paintings based on the Torments. By the 5th torment, the demands of the painting had grown so dire that he died of blood loss. The diagrams in this text are thankfully less detailed. So that was written in Fusine, which we still don't know, and it has Grail 14, which is quite a ways away for us. And it will teach about resurgences and emergences. So we can put this on the shelf here with our other Fusine books, with the Gimeniad trilogy. And then finally, the last book we found, oh, goody! A Locksmith's Dream Trespasses, the 3rd volume of Teresa Galmier's examination of parallels in the mystic dreams of artisans. So, that's a 6 knock. We can definitely knock that out. Ha ha ha. So we will go ahead and we can actually put that in between 2 and 4. So we can use our Shapt. And we need 4 more points. We have Door and Wall. Knock, a gate flung wide. I am a match for this book. And Door and Wall plus with 5 knock gives a secret threshold. Not unexpected there. So we can start reading that. And the Annals of St. Brandon should be just about, yep, almost done there. I'm going to finish up just before daybreak, so that we timed that perfectly. Over 100 years of the Abbey's annals, from 1230 to 1350. 3 events of particular interest are recorded. An endowment by Eva de Braus. Oh, crap. I forgot to pause. That's my fault. I forgot to pause there. So, 3 events of particular interest are recorded. An endowment by Eva de Braus, widow of the Marcher Lord Gwilyn du Black William, which enables an expansion of the abbey, the construction of the Winter Tower, which is dedicated to the Madrigad, and the death by poisoning and arts unsanctioned of Abbess Nana. Well, we've read about that in another book. After Abbess Nana's death, the double foundation is dissolved, and the monastery is reformed to accept only male novices. At this point, the ink changes. The helpful scribe explains that for the new foundation, the abbot has mandated Stargall, not Ugal ink. He outlines the differences, use of inks of containment with a sky, not nectar context, but doesn't trouble to explain why. Okay, so that tells us how we make 2 new inks. So inks of containment with sky gives us Stargall, and inks of containment with nectar gives us Ugal. So we will grab those. So this teaches us, we didn't get to see what memory it gave us, but not really all that important. We have most of the memories at this point. The important part was the lesson. So we got to reread those books again then, and grab those lessons again. So we have 1 winter, 2 moon, 3 moon, 4 moon, 5 winter. So that will be our 5s to upgrade inks of containment. And we have some more rain today. So let's see, what can we do with some nectar? Or grail? We can open up this creeper-crowded descent. Leaves, flowers, and thorns. Especially thorns. Yes, so we will grab... So today, it is autumn, so luckily enough for us, we can go to the Sweet Bones and we can hire another orchard keeper. In autumn, the orchard keepers come to sell their wares at Brandkrug. A shilling will buy one's help. Orchard keepers offer nectar and a little heart. So we can use her nectar to get into that creeper-crowded descent. We can talk to her about the rain. That will get her to 4. The knife will get her to 6. And we need a glass of dandelion wine. Oh, the lambic actually will work because that's 2 nectar. So yep, so we have what we need. So also we can store this Mazarine Fife for now. We can store it over here. And we'll store this storm lantern as well. We can put the pears back in the kitchen since we used the other bowl we had. Speed up time a little bit just to make reading those go by faster. Alright, so let's take advantage of the weather. So we'll offer her the knife. Gets her to 6. We need 8. Yep. Alright, so there's our 5 memories. Now, we just grab our inks of containment and lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a whist. At last, I'm something of an authority in this. Prove it to level 6. Tools boosted their aspects, and now we give her that glass of lambic that we had laying around. And this will get her to 8. And we have finished reading Locksmith's Dream Trespasses. In this volume, notoriously, Galmir's prose begins to disintegrate, and it is not clear which dreams are in fact her own. The woman in the sand-colored robe has told me, the stairways of the Mansus go ever up. Death is down. The mother of ants guards both directions with each of her heads, and so the passage must always be through a wound. I think the white door might be a wound. That's one reason the dead sometimes pass it. I think I have the other half of the secret now, and I hope my reader can put both halves together. So that has given us a memory of impulse. So we will mark that real quick. Actually, we'll have to use the... Grab it and come up here. We have to use this one because this takes moth. Then we can put this back on the shelf. So it looks like we have at least one more volume of this series to find. I think there's 5 total. So we have a lesson on Edict's Liminal. So we definitely want to boost that up. So we need 3 knock or moth skills. So we have 1. We have 2. We just need 1 more. Because we have Peel's card, we might as well use that occult scrap. So we can do a salt. So Inks of Containment is now level 6. Which will make it easy for us to come up here now. Inks plus Whist plus Flour makes Solomon's Preparation. Alright, our orchard keeper has dropped her wine down, her apple wine down to the Grushans. And we can send her down to the creeper crowded descent and have her start working on that. See what's underneath the well finally. Alright, so then we have Edict's Liminal, the occult scrap, our salt, impulse, and that. And we can add our maladied shaft. Another fruit plucked from Knowledge's tree. So now we have that done. We can add Peel's card to our Rolodex. Or our writing case, rather. Cardia House, Shania, Crete. So we get our occult scrap back. Alright, so she has finished her work, and she's opened up a well descent. Rungs line the well's side. This must lead down to the oldest part of the isle, to the shrines of the sisterhood. It may be that the servants of the DeWolf family still came here in secret, even when they paid lip service to the rites of the unconquered sun. So we found another Aglaophotis scented candle, 2 heart, 2 knock, 2 lantern, and 2 rose. So that's good for boosting Timothy up. Some animal bones, what remains, 2 scale and some winter. And another pair of the shears of the sisterhood, black iron shears marked with the sisterhood's triple knot. Nothing else there, and the next one is a root-thronged descent. The roots here are a labyrinth of years. How long is it since anyone passed this way? So we need 9 heart, 9 nectar, or 9 scale. So if we get some more rain, we might be able to open that tomorrow. Okay, Edict's Liminal is now level 4, so we have 5 moth and 4 knock. So just because I'm curious, let's see what we can actually make with that, if anything. So we add Edict's Liminal, we add Trist for moth, and it makes Tanglebrag. And with 5 knock, it makes Secret Threshold. So for knock, or for moth, if we add a memory, we will remember a riddle instead. We need to get 3 more points of moth somewhere. So I think we actually might be able to do that. Let me check and see here. So I think, yes, because this is 2 points of moth. So let's go ahead and make one of those. So we're going to need to read ambrosial. And we'll start that. So with Keeper level winter, Solomon's preparations are a precursor to the Great Ink Nillicant. So we would need to add that and 15 winter. Which is getting closer, because that's 4 winter in and of itself. Plus, so 7 plus 4 is 11. We'd only need 4 more points. So let's see. Anything else we can do with the remainder of our day here? Anything over here that we're able to read now? 15, 16, 12, 14, 10, 14. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, actually, we need a moon table or moon crafting area. Or we can come up here, actually, because we can do... So let's, to test a theory out, we can... So we learned 2 recipes. If we add inks of containment, and if we can get 5 nectar here, so we need to use the health, and we need to use something else here. Ooh, wait. Okay, so here's a way we can kind of cheat our way into doing that. Because we do have a book that needs Crack Track. The White Jade Tablet. Yep, so inks of containment with 5 nectar makes Ugal ink. So that's just a proof of concept of how that works, and a little way we can trick the game into accepting things that it shouldn't in certain desks. But for now, all we need is some cat wink, really. So we can come over here. We can add inks of containment. We can add a tryst, and we can make some cat wink. Because we want to get Peel back so we can learn how to speak Vok. Because we do have a couple of books in Vok, and it would give us another language to put on level 1 of the skill tree. Okay, so there's our memory impulse. So just to make sure, because I can't remember if the memory that it gives us is persistent or not, we will wait until after the night falls. Dark and pungent. So we can now do our writing case. And cat wink. And we can add that, and we can request Peel's presence. Now, I just need to post it. Peel is on his way back. So now we can take our memory impulse. Let's see, what was it we were... So, moth. Yes. So Edict's Liminal with memory impulse and a tryst. And then a Shears of the Sisterhood to give us to 10. Makes us a name day riddle. Conceive a mothly riddle. So we'll see what that makes for us. And we'll probably have to wait till next time to see the outcome of that, because that is 2 days worth of work. And let's see, we've been recording for just about an hour now, so I think it's probably time to give it a break. So thank you for joining me. Hope you've been enjoying watching my progress through the game. I hope you've had some fun, learned a few things maybe about how the game operates. And I will see you all next time. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe if you want to see more of these. Thank you for joining me.